we talk a lot about our total confidence plan around here, at least before GM stole that phrase from us. But this is our fully managed network service. It's really our flagship support program. And in the traditional time and materials approach, it really set our interests against those interests of the client. So in a time and materials approach, typically you're paid on an hourly basis and you're called when things are broke. And it's very difficult as a solution provider to plan for when something's going to break at a customer. So we find ourselves waiting for the phone to ring. And so when you try to staff in a way that is efficient, you've got to staff just below what your demand is because you want your people busy all the time. And so when that phone rings, someone's got a problem, and a lot of times we're not able to respond in a timely manner. It also means that, that the customer has problems happening, and IT comes in to solve those problems. It's just that the way we make money, the more problems, the better. So for a customer, they don't want problems, but we do want problems. So we've set up a managed service approach that we feel like better aligns our interests and the customer's interests. Customer gets a fixed monthly fee. They know exactly what they're going to spend. And for us to make more money with a fixed fee, we want to prevent problems from happening because it's much more costly for us to deal with problems that impact the end user than it is just to prevent those problems. So, Steve, how do we go about being successful with a plan like that and making both our customers happy and us profitable?
Well, Chuck, Total Confidence at its core, like you said, is unlimited service for a flat monthly fee. That means you call us once or you call us 10 times a day. There's no incremental cost, regardless of how many times we come out to resolve an issue, which puts all the pressure on us to straighten out and to prevent any kind of problem, which is what the customer wants anyway. So they're not thinking about IT, they're thinking about what makes them money. So, and in that unlimited service, most of the time, when you're in a time and materials model, there is one person that acts as the gatekeeper and to kind of protect how much they're spending on IT and to, weed through the necessary and unnecessary request. Well, in a Total Confidence plan, it takes all the pressure off of that person because, like I said, there's no incremental cost. You give our number to every employee in your company, we take care of it. There's other aspects of our Total Confidence plan, such as a 24/7 help desk. You call, it's not a callback, a person's actually answering the phone, ready to help you. It includes your antivirus, your anti-spam, so those are things that customers no longer have to renew. It includes 24/7 monitoring of your servers and workstations. It includes a dedicated key account engineer with a limited amount of accounts so they can truly give a customer that first-class level of attention. And by doing all these things, it literally becomes like having a virtual network administrator that never takes vacations, never has a day off, and never calls in sick.
I remember, and you probably do too, sadly, 3 years ago when we started this, we headed down one road and we've had to make some changes because a lot of things didn't make sense. And back then, we thought the way to go was to pull ourselves out of the field totally, have customers interface with a help desk for everything, and if the problem got really bad, go on site. But we've completely turned that model upside down, and tell us a little bit about the lessons we learned and why we feel like it's so effective the way we're doing it now.
Yeah, it's kind of painful to think back on that time. What we tried to do at first was be as efficient as possible, solve a customer's issue in the most efficient way possible. Well, what we found is that wasn't always the best way. Efficiency sounds great, but effectiveness is what really makes the difference. And so we kind of took the best aspects of our time and materials, customer service based. If we don't do a great job, you're not going to call us back. And applied that to our managed services and made it much more personal. Managed services is not something like many other companies do managed services, and they try to fix everything remotely. Our managed services, we certainly will fix things remotely if that makes sense, but we absolutely require that our key account engineers interface personally with that client, make on-site visits, resolve things on-site, and we have found it's not the least expensive way to do this, but it is the best.
Yeah, and one other point about the key account engineer is that they, on a daily basis, I believe, check themselves. They don't rely on any of our systems that are in place to do this. They themselves check to make sure the backup ran correctly, and then once a month, they work with the client to do a test restore of some sample data. So they actually ask the customer.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And what you're talking about there is real ownership, and that's what we ask our key account engineers to do. We ask them personally to check the health of that network every morning, make sure the backup ran, and then as you mentioned, the test restore, you know, there's an old saying in IT that backups don't matter, it's restores is where the money is made. And when we go in to do a test restore, we're not just pulling some random Word document that we created, backing it up and restoring it. That's really not a good test. We're going to the customer and saying, you tell me what piece of data you want to restore and you tell me what date you want it restored to, because that's going to prove to the customer that in a real world situation we can actually restore their data.